Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a video that almost made me fall in love with weeding cricket vinyl. I don't think I've ever said those words out loud. I am going to be using this round tray from Moulds and Shapes, and we are back on the great outdoors camper van camping, sleeping under the stars series. This mould measures around 25 centimeters across and it's actually perfect for wall art. So that is what we are making in today's video. It's a tray mould, but it's more of like a platter. There's no edge to it, there's no lip. Now, Amanda Towgood, public apology. I'm going to be using the midnight blue mica powder that Amanda Towgood sent me from Resin Supplies Den. It was not Sharon Kerr, like I said in the last video. Oh my gosh, my brain. Amanda Towgood, thank you so much for the midnight blue. We're going for a starry night. We're going for deep, moody, starry sky with depth, and for that there is only one thing to do, and that is one of my favorite techniques. That is a mica powder chuck it all in technique with alcohol spray. But first I am laying down a layer of stars. Now these are the Heyyyy stars. I am a Heyyyy affiliate. I will leave the Heyyyy details down below. I'm just putting quite a lot at the top. Again, that's going to be the sky, and the bottom, needless to say, is not going to be the sky. On top of that, I'm just sprinkling on a very fine dusting of the Super Sparkle White, just to give that, I guess, distant star, nebula, almost deep space feel. Maybe this is spacey, I don't know. I was thinking dark, moody sky, but guys, the results are unreal. Now the fun. We are dumping mica into this tray. If you are new here, this is a really fun technique where you just dump mica, not mountains and mountains of mica, but you scatter mica across the surface of your mold. You then spray it with isopropyl alcohol just before you pour the resin in, and the effects are absolutely stunning. I've been doing this for a couple years now. I don't know who invented it, but I don't know. I'm not claiming it to be my technique. I'm sure it's been going for hundreds of years. Going back to the cavemen is all I'm saying. I'm not taking credit, but it's a fun one. So dumping the powder in. Now this is where I stopped with the powder, but I'll be honest, I did end up adding a bit more. I just felt like it needed more. The resin I'm using in today's video is the Apex. I didn't show the mixing process, but it is part AB, part 1, part 2, measurable by volume. Now this has been on my Let's Resin mixing machine for quite some time, but you can see the strands in there, you can see the strings. That's because I didn't scrape the cup prior to putting it on the Let's Resin mixing machine. So if you've got a mixing machine, it's really important that you scrape the sides of the cup, scrape the bottom of the cup for a good minute prior to putting it on the machine. Otherwise, when you take it out of the machine, you're still going to be strandy, so you still got to mix it. That's all. That's the advice. Mix. It was at this point I thought a little bit more powder, and I will be a happy bunny. I'm happy with this. I've got my Super Sparkle White. I've got my moody, dramatic, potential, spacey, nebulary sky. Now it's time to spray it with isopropyl alcohol. This is 99% isopropyl alcohol, and honestly, I didn't even take into consideration how many sprays I was doing, but after filming and editing I did count approximately 30 sprays. You got to just play it by ear. We're not pouring the alcohol in, we're spraying liberally, making sure that all of those mica powders get to have fun and play together and blend together and do all of the things. And I was just hoping that this would give me the most stunning, wispy, magical, whimsical night sky. But also when I poured the resin, I poured from the bottom up. I didn't want any of that mica going down to the bottom of the tray, because that is where the vinyl is gonna go. And look at this, it's just so pretty. I did spray the surface with isopropyl alcohol. I didn't feel the need to fill this mold all the way up to the surface, because it's gonna come in handy for the next stage, having a lip around the edge. Guys, this is the image. Are you kidding me? This is the image. It was the most intricate, detailed, fiddly, finicky, whatever the words are, all of the words. It was It was not easy. I did it off camera. It took me 1 hour and I took my sweet time. Look at this sky, please. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely beautiful. Again, this would lend itself to anything spacey, anything nebula-esque, universe, stars, all of those kinds of projects. I absolutely love the results. I love the super sparkle white. Now, don't forget my vinyl decal, my vinyl design is going over that. So where all of the colours don't quite blend, it's going to be covered up. And here we are. Tip number 1. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Tip number 1, take your time. Take your time laying this down. Do it upside down. Put the vinyl on the table, turn your piece upside down and lay it down upside down. Because I went straight for it down and I was off. I am off by about 1 millimeter. So we do fix that and it's fine. It doesn't take away from the finished piece. But look at it now. Look at the sky now, guys. I'm so obsessed. I am so obsessed, and I have to say, I don't know how some stroke of luck, pure fluke, that the mica powder not only stayed in the top, because I wanted it to, right? I wanted the mica powder to stay in the top. I wanted the van to be completely one colour, but it is one colour. Like, sometimes, you know, little bits happen and a little stray bit of purple might have come down, but I've been so lucky with this. The top of the van, however, has still got some colour in there, but that's absolutely fine. I love, 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 love that sky with the vinyl over the top, just highlighting the clouds and the stars. And there were some elements of the vinyl detail from the Cricut design space that I didn't quite like in the sky, just random circles. So I took them off. I wasn't feeling those pieces. So if you find this design on the Cricut design space, I typed in camping, mountains, camper van, motorhome, mountains, forest. I typed in all of those words and this image came up. Guys, imagine this, but with a green Northern Lights sky. Oh my goodness me. I mean, that would be stunning. Now, when I said I was off by 1 millimeter or 2, this is why. I actually created this file to completely and utterly match the tray. Of course, that means the way I laid it down really wasn't the best way to lay it down. I was right off the edge. So I've trimmed off all of the excess that was going out and over the edge, and then I had to work out a technique to make it not so obvious that it's missing a whole chunk. But guys, look at this. Oh my gosh, I love it so, so much. I genuinely love this technique. The weeding was long. It took me ages, but trust me, I took my time to make sure that I made no mistakes. It was actually hard. My brain, my left-right brain, my inside-outside brain was struggling. It's like, right, so if that bit comes out, and I was referring back to the image on the Cricut design space, if I take that bit out, that bit needs to stay in, and if I take that bit out, I'm going to destroy the whole thing. So I kept, in my head, the black part of the image is the bit that had to stay. So that's the only way I could do it. The black bit stays, the white bit comes away. And you'll know what I mean if you've used a Cricut. The design was black and white. So I just kept saying, right, the black bit stays, the black bit stays. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it half the time. So it did take me quite a while. And I think that's just my age. I'm just, yeah. Anyway, right now I am using Mod Podge glue on the back of the tray because I do plan on flood coating this tray. Now this is where the lip comes in handy. I didn't fill the mould up. And that lip, you can see it there, works a dream. You can just run your hands all over the back with the PVA glue, school glue, or Mod Podge will do the job. This is it 24 hours later now. The tray is a bit bendy for 24 hours later, and I can only put that down to the fact that we've suddenly got hot again, and my craft room is really hot. Or I didn't mix the resin properly, or I added too much pigment. There's a whole host of reasons why your resin could still be bendy 24 hours later. Most likely it's human error. So my guess is could have maybe mixed it for another minute, but hopefully it will harden up at some stage. Now to cover up my boo-boos, oh my gosh, story of my life. To cover up the fact that I misaligned the vinyl decal with the tray, I am going around all of the edges with the silver deco color metallic pen. It will just hide all of those little errors. Now, on one side, it's going to give me a border, and on the other side, it's going to thicken up the border. But honestly, it's not that noticeable. I don't personally think it's noticeable enough. I'd rather have a border than a gap in the border, if that hopefully makes any kind of sense. But here we are. My left hand is conscious that not to touch the edge because this pen can remain wet for a few minutes. So just being very conscious not to touch anything with my fingers and just rest my hand. But this is what we're looking like. If you look bottom right now, we have a border. I am happy. I am fully in love with this piece, and it is now time to top coat. The glue, as you saw, is fully dry on the back because this is the next day. And yeah, here we are. This is the Apex resin, again, measurable 1:1 by volume. And whilst that is on my Let's Resin mixing machine, I'm gonna actually carry on with the silver deco color pen. This pen, I haven't used it in so long. When I first started resin, this was actually like my go-to pen. Do you guys remember, any of you here from those days, like years and years and years ago, and we couldn't find the pens in the UK, and everyone was like, where do we get these pens in the UK? And I mean, they're easy to find now, but they weren't 7 years ago, you know? So again, they're just my go-to metallic colors for resin. I absolutely love them. And I just thought if the edge of the tray, well, it's not a tray, it's a wall art piece. If the edge of the wall art piece is also silver, that will just, yeah, make it more cohesive, I guess. Make it look a little bit more arty than trayy. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. So yeah, here I am. I don't want to bore you to tears, so we will fast forward on that. The edge is done and it is time to top coat. Now you can see how watery this resin is. This is the Apex resin. This is not the Apex top coat and doming resin. This is the normal Apex. And it is like pure water because my craft room is so hot today. And it makes a significant difference in epoxy resin when you use it. So you can either wait for your resin to really get thick and get that domed top coat, but I had fully planned on flood coating this, but I didn't want to over flood coat it. I didn't want to make up a ton of resin and lose a ton of resin. I just want enough resin to just go over those edges. So I'm using a lollipop stick to get it all to the edges, and then using a gloved hand, of course, I'm touching the edge of the tray over and over and over and over in a circular pattern, making sure that that resin is and has come into contact with every millimeter of the side of that tray, the silver pen. I want the silver pen to also be sealed in because it can chip off eventually, although I think you'd have to hack at it to do that. One quick torch of the blowtorch, and this is what we're looking like. I love it. This is one of my favorite pieces of 2026. All of the effort, trust me guys when I tell you, the air was blue weeding this, but I started at the top of the vinyl. So all of those little gaps in between the trees, I started right at the top, worked my way down so slowly you would not believe. Now imagine this, green mica at the bottom of your tray, pink, orange, yellow, funky colours in the middle of your tray, and then your sky colour. And you've pretty much coloured in the van, and then you've coloured in the bottom of the grassy area as well. The choices, the options, I mean, you'd have to weed the vinyl, but do you know what I mean, guys? Unreal. I absolutely think that the effort I put into weeding this vinyl was worth every second. I covered it with a huge box because I am not risking this piece. It's one of my favourite pieces. This is what we're looking like before I covered it with the box because I ran out of time, and I can't even lie. Like, this is not next day. This is what we're looking like. It hasn't cured yet. It's literally upstairs as we speak. I ran out of time to finish it off, but I will attach big eyelets to this, and I will attach some string, rope or chain, and it will be a wall art piece. Equally, you could add it to a slice of wood. Like, you really could elevate this into some beautiful, beautiful wall art. with some wood background. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you feel inspired, if anything, to use that mica technique with the alcohol. This video alone has inspired me to create a whole new series that I've made notes on my phone. Like, it's funny how inspiration comes, you know? I'm excited for that series when that finally comes. But in the meantime, we're going to have at least one more outdoorsy video before we move on to Summerween. Somebody hold me back, please. And then we're going to move on to this new series that was inspired by this video. I hope you stay tuned, hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you have enjoyed this, I really do appreciate any form of interaction, a hype and or a like. If you hit that like button, it lets YouTube know that you like my content and it will push me out there a little bit more. Thank you so much for everything. I'll see you next time.